Welcome back to my channel where I tell you what I would do differently if I was the creators of TV shows and movies. And this is my most ambitious rewrite yet. So the movie begins with the Avengers learning about a possible Crossbones attack and is waiting to take action. Captain America spots a suspicious truck and asks Falcon to investigate with one of his drones, and he will discover that the driver is armed. The driver jumps out of the vehicle, uses it as a battering ram. The criminals use sleeping gas. They are there to steal a chemical weapon, and the Avengers show up and is able to knock out everyone there. America asks Wanda to remove the gas with her powers, and she does so. Captain America goes inside, but too late. Crossbow tries to blend in with the crowd and escape. Black Widow chases down some of the criminals and starts to fight them before ended up getting thrown in an armored truck with a grenade, so she has to use one of them as a human shield. Crossbones and his crew escapes into the crowd, and a bomb gets attached to Cap's shield, so he has to throw it into the air before it goes off. And then he is sneak attacked by Crossbones, and they have a little fight, and Black Widow chasing down some other ones of them, and she's nearly able to take them out before one of them will use a vial to threaten her. But the Falcon is able to take him out with one of his drones, and she is able to catch it. And Captain America is still fighting Crossbones. Cap's able to take him out, and we learn that the buyer is the Winter Soldier, aka Bucky Barnes. He tries to blow Cap up with himself, but Wanda stops it. But as she tries to get him away from the city, he ends up blowing up a building. Cut to Tony Stark as he's at a showcase for his latest technology. Tony meets a woman after the show, and she tells him that her son died during the attack in Age of Ultron. I'm going to add a scene where Bucky wakes up from a nightmare and someone is watching him.
Nationalizes the Avengers so that they can only act if the UN deems it necessary. Steve
And we get to see the conflict as Steve is against it, but Tony is for it because of what that woman said. We will still get Peggy Carter's funeral, and Natasha and Steve will talk, and she reveals that she did sign it. We get introduced to T'Challa. The whole scene will play out the same with the bomb attack, and the news is claiming Bucky did it. Captain America goes to confront Bucky, and he reveals that he was nowhere near that place when it happened. And then they get attacked by armed men, and Cap defends Bucky. Bucky's able to take out multiple of them as he escapes to a different rooftop before Black Widow tried to fight him, but he doesn't want to fight, so he simply defends himself before escaping on foot, with Black Panther being on his tail and Steve not far behind. Captain America steals the car, and Black Panther realizes what's happening, so he uses the opportunity to hitch a ride. Bucky steals a motorcycle, and the chase continues. Black Panther nearly knocks Bucky off, but Bucky's able to quickly kick him off of the motorcycle, and then the roof blows up, but Black Panther is able to get to him before Captain America is able to stop him, and they are all arrested. Everything's the same with Zemo as he ends up brainwashing Bucky again. Bucky ends up attacking Steve and knocking him down a elevator shaft. As he tries to climb back up, we get the confrontation between him and Tony Stark, and then the same one with T'Challa, which will still end the same way as it did in the initial movie. Bucky tried to escape in a helicopter, but Steve is able to stop him and ends up having Bucky and Steve both fall off into the water, and Steve saves them. Everything will be the same up until Tony talks to General Ross and he says that he has someone to recruit. And that's, of course, when we get the introduction of Peter Parker, which I'm actually going to add a bit to this storyline. So, in this one, it will actually start out with Peter at school. And we do get to meet Ned and MJ to set up Homecoming. And then Peter would meet Tony Stark, and all that will play out the same as he's like, I know you're Spider-Man, and he will recruit him. And then we would still have Hawkeye show up, and everything with that, and Vision will happen the same with Wanda also ending up stopping him with by using her powers, and all that will be the same. And we get introduced to Ant-Man, but in my version it will be Hank Pym instead of the original one, which was Scott Lang. So it'll be Hank Pym in my version, and we'll get a brief reference to Janet Van Dyne, but overall it'll simply get to him instead. It'll still be played by the same actor. The fight at the airport would all be the same. Nothing would change until after it, pretty much. And my biggest change would be right after it, with Tony Stark will set up a press conference for Peter to reveal his whole identity, but we will get this be from the point of view of Peter, and we'll see like sort of like him like starting to second guess this decision, and he will to choose not to, and he will swing away before Tony will find him and says if he ever sees Peter in that outfit again, he will arrest him. We see Captain America and Bucky laying low, and then we will get Tony Stark learning all the information, and that will be the same. He tries to tell General Ross, but he doesn't listen, so he goes to the Falcon and tries to find out where they are, and that will all be the same. Tony suits up before heading to find Steve and Bucky. Steve and Bucky reunite with Tony, and he says that he is there to help. Pretty much everything will be the same during this part. Tony will find out the truth about his parents, and it will cause them to fight once again. And mainly, this whole fight will be the same with Bucky and Steve versus Iron Man, and Bucky's arm being completely like destroyed. All that will be the same. Black Panther will show up and will save Baron Zemo from killing himself. Linden will be the same with Tony receiving that phone. Steve will break out Falcon, and Bucky would get frozen until they're able to stop his brainwashing. And the film would pretty much be the same up until the post-credit scene. We see a news report of Spider-Man swinging through the city, and the person watching it on the news is Adrian Toomes, and we see a prototype Vulture suit.